following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode here of the Unstoppable You podcast with me, your host, Heather Beebe. Another Disruption Network podcast brought to you by Utica Hemp. Check them out online, any of their 4 locations. If you're having any chronic pain or anything that doesn't seem like you've figured out a solution, try CBD oils. They have a whole variety of products there, so check them out. Tonight, let me share something quick before we even get started. I haven't mentioned this yet, but my retreats in Puerto Rico, we had a very amazing time this year, despite the earthquakes that happened while we were there. The city of Rincon is northwest of that area, which was not affected by the earthquakes as much. We could feel them, but for the most part, that area, tourism is happening. Things are going on. It's a great time. I have booked the dates for the 2021 year. So if it's something that you're interested in doing, this is a women's only retreat. It's women only for the week. It's a Saturday to Saturday. You get to the airport, I pick you up, and you come to the house and chill for the week. Everything else is taken care of. Start paying attention to this now. It's April 10th through the 17th. And when reach out to me if you're interested. We can set up a payment plan. There's no interest involved. It's just basically to hold you accountable and start saving now to make it happen for yourself. So if you're interested in doing that, reach out to me and we'll get it going. So tonight's show is going to be awesome. It's an interesting thing I noticed after the Super Bowl halftime show, that there seems to be a lot of judgments around dancing and entertainment and things like that. So I just kind of wanted to have a raw conversation with somebody, not scripted, on the other side of the story. So I made a post today. It seems to be that there's still some disagreement with what is permitted and what's not. And so I'm super excited about this show tonight. And so I did to find this guest for tonight. I posted something on Facebook to try to get some people to come in and talk, and it was not that easy to do. So I'm super excited and very thankful for this guest tonight. And I'd like to introduce Lindsay Quinn, who is known as the Mistress of Mayhem. But she's also an RN.
You betcha.
Yeah. So I kind of want to just share, we can talk about whatever we want. But what I think is so cool is that the reality is that this is fun. It's a choice. It's dance.
Fun. Absolutely. And you know what? It's a skill also. I work at the casino. I specialize in whips. I get people going. I get them crazy. I work with a lot of the dancers, and, we call them the booty girls.
Yeah.
That walk around. I'm sure we've all seen them at the casino.
Yeah.
They're lovely.
Yeah.
And I started doing that about 4 years ago there. But I was a registered nurse and doing the mom thing and the married housewife, and then kids got a little older, and I picked up a skill, and I was like, let me try this.
Yeah.
And definitely judgment. You'd want to kind of keep things quiet. I had to keep my lives very separate to an extent because people totally get the wrong idea. If you do anything that has to do with being a beautiful woman or wearing things that would show your body, people instantly think you're like a prostitute. immediately. That's a question I get a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, what would make you think that? You know, we give women such accolades for being beautiful, but when they're beautiful, we're gonna what?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Totally.
So yeah, it's been very interesting, and I would have to say that I maybe ride the fence a little bit. Maybe a lot of women wouldn't be as open about what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I had friends that I thought would come along and be here, but they didn't want to go public. They use false names, and they just have no desire to have people know and be judged.
Yeah.
They want to go on with their lives, and unfortunately, men kind of don't look at you like the marrying woman, as you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been an interesting experience.
Yeah. But I think, so one of the first things you said to me when we started to message each other, because we don't know each other, and which is really cool because a lot of my guests I don't know, and they just become these really cool people in my life who I'm thankful for, you know, because even for what I can learn by hanging out for an hour, you know, who are these people? Who are they really? What are their stories? And I think when it starts with one person talking, it kind of lightens it for others. And I hope you realize that there will be people watching tonight that are inspired, that they need to embrace the decisions, you know, that they're making.
And I went into it, I guess, because they're beautiful girls. You kind of think maybe they're going to be bimbos or... These women were so intelligent. They were so sweet. I guess you wanted to hate these beautiful girls, and they're not. You can't. They're great. They're actually talented.
Yeah.
You know, people really do look at like, oh, she's just got to be pretty. That's it. And that is completely not it. You know, they're just gifted and lucky with that one thing, and that's great. I love to look at a beautiful person. Who doesn't?
Yeah, I agree.
I can't believe that we're so weird in this country about it.
Yeah.
And it's just this country.
That's so true. That's so true. When I was 17 years old, I moved to Brazil. I studied down there. And Brazilians are known for their sexy bodies, Brazilian bikini, the Brazilian wax, all these things that if you say Brazilian in front of everything, it's automatically
very
sexy.
sexualized. Yeah.
What I found is a 17-year-old girl that teenagers are teenagers. But as far as promiscuous teens, they were much more prevalent up here in my American life than they were down there.
Because it was so hidden. It's like the secret treasure that nobody will talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
So you end up, you know, and I'm raised Hispanic. I'm Puerto Rican on my, I was actually raised just a few blocks from here on Bleecker Street. And we dance very, and I remember getting in trouble just for dancing the way that I was raised to dance.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's a very different cultural difference.
Yeah.
And they're just so, like, my father came from a different country. He didn't think it was bad. And he's very protective.
Yeah.
But, definitely people don't know how to react. They want to think you're a bad person right off the bat. I think that's what it is, definitely.
For sure. For sure. Did you ever dance ballet or anything like as a kid where you were in any recitals here?
I've always been a singer.
Okay.
So I always did the performance end of it. I did that, and now I do I also do hype stuff. You know, I'm just the person that gets people crazy, and that's always been, you know, what I do. But no, I work with all these dancers, though, and I look at them, and they're so beautiful and gifted. And the fact that they're so judged, I guess you could say, and I see the way the women react to them, too. It's pretty extreme.
Yeah, sure. Well, my reason for that question is have you ever been to a recital of little kids?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah. So it's funny because when you see somebody talk about the dancers that were on the Super Bowl stage, you wonder if they've ever been to a recital, because if you would like to look at something and say they're having sex that's very sexualized, like you could say that about 8-year-olds at a dance recital if that's what you want to see. But if you see art and talent and flexibility and
that's what it is. It's a talent.
Yes.
And it's beauty also. You know, the fact that they have a beautiful body or something you want to look at is just an added thing.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, and it's terrible because if you look, you know, on YouTube, let's say they have a girl who looks terrible and she's on a pole. We laugh, ha, 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 ha. But if it's a beautiful girl, she's
it's
hoochie.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, which totally doesn't make sense. Excuse me, I'm not a fan.
And if you see a guy, like, it's funny because to the contrary, you know, Adam Levine the year before, everyone was
Oh my goodness.
goo goo gaga
Nothing.
about that.
Yep.
Yeah, that wasn't. They're still talking about this show, and it wasn't even.
No.
a
But-
day
and
maybe. Like
It's weird. And I noticed, because I work with male dancers also, they don't have problems with people always trying to touch them. But people feel that if there's a beautiful woman, they have this weird right. You know, I guess I understand. Like you see a pretty statue, you want to touch it.
yeah, true.
But it's almost like when you see something pretty, you just can't help yourself. They can't, you know, believe it. And I would like to say that I get really mad sometimes with those people, but it's actually that kind of a funny reaction.
Yeah.
Like they see you. If I wear corsets where I'm very smushed in, and it's all about the chest area.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's great to look at. You know, it's really cool to see that interesting difference in the body, and it's beautiful and it's different.
Yeah.
And you know what? I bet you a whole lot of you couldn't wear a corset. It's taken me a lot of years to be able to really get that tight. And that in itself, just wearing those outfits all night that you see the dancers in, that is not the easiest stuff to be in. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be out there and we look so beautiful and we're doing this and that, and then we go in the back and we're like on the floor.
It's like, I mean, I can imagine, like, when you hear women say, like, oh, when I get home, I take my bra off and that's it. I'm not leaving the house again. Like, imagine your entire outfit being that constricting.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I don't, people definitely don't. They have no idea about the outfits. That's actually very interesting. They come up to you. They think you can do just about anything. And you're like, well, I can't bend over right now. But, yeah. So what was your viewpoint? Do you, like, dance? Do you? Because you seem like someone, I'll tell you the truth, look-wise, you look like someone who would be judgy.
Yeah. So, let's talk about this. Well,
Because you look like